Okay, Ken Roczen, Vancouver, your second of 3 WSX appearances this year. Argentina obviously went great, but you were sick. So what was the turnaround like this week, and how are you feeling now?
So I actually got really lucky getting out of Argentina. My flight was like 5:15 in the morning, so I went straight to the airport, dropped the car off, went back to the hotel, showered, and went to the airport. But then a lot of flights got canceled later on, so I actually got home, Sunday afternoon, and had a mellow day Monday. Was able to ride a couple of days this week. Had a couple of really good days riding, and then off we went already coming here. So turnaround was good. Yeah, I'm ready.
When you do something like that, like you didn't sleep Saturday night, do you not see that it really impacts your recovery and therefore your riding training in the week?
It does, but the fact that I got home Sunday, I think I landed at like 3 or 3:30, which is not bad, then I'm able to have the whole evening and I have all day Monday to kind of recover and whatnot, and, some of the guys. So it was also funky. It was either you fly out at that time that I flew out, or it was 9 p.m. at night, so there was no in between, right? I ended up picking the quicker one, because honestly, after racing, I can't ever sleep anyways. Like, it's garbage sleep no matter what, so I might as well just step in a plane. And I was actually so beat from the previous just 3 days. Like, I wasn't sleeping. I was pooping my pants out, and it just was rough. So I'm like, get me home, So I was actually able to sleep for a little bit, and it worked out all right. And actually, the travel from there wasn't that bad. I flew to Panama and then back to Orlando. It wasn't like an Australia one where you're 20-some hours in the plane, so it was fairly quick.
You're not doing this full series. I'm sure they wanted you. So how did those negotiations go down, and how did you settle on 3 rounds, I think it is?
I actually originally had a contract for the full thing, and it ended up, we came to an agreement, or WSX came into agreement that they wanted me at 3 rounds, and that's what I ended up doing, So I was actually scheduled for the whole thing, but it only ended up being 3 for now.
Oh, so you would do the full thing if the opportunity was there?
Yeah, I had a contract, yeah.
Oh, that surprises me. I just presumed it was because obviously the December races are getting quite close to Anaheim 1. I thought you'd want that breathing room to really lock in, but...
No, I was pretty committed, and then once the plans kind of changed, like, I wasn't that mad either, because after just the injury, I know I keep talking about it, but it was like I needed to be home for a few weeks at a time and kind of be miserable. And when I train and get tired, like, I don't want to have to go race, and be tired and all of that. So I really needed some time home as well, so I was fine with it.
Yeah, is this the start of your 2026 season, or is this the end of your 2025? How are you mentally slotting these races in?
It's kind of the start of the 2026 season, I would say, because after... the ankle just took so much longer than I thought, you know what I mean? And I took full time off during the summer, and so then once I started back up in training, I needed to, get my ass back in shape and do some work, which I've done so far right now. So these few races actually come in pretty handy, and then have another last little push before Anaheim.
Yeah, are you anywhere close to 100% right now, or is that not even in the ballpark?
I mean, health-wise, yes. I still want to reach another level. Even this week, I didn't really take too much time off and kind of was grinding a little bit. I'm still in the stage where I feel like I need to gain. I want to gain another step, but I'm on a really good way. So I'm happy the steps forward I've made in the last few weeks. But I know that there's still more to go. But I also want to. Do it in a easy manner, if that makes sense, and stay relaxed while I'm doing the work. And it's nice also with that, not being rushed going to Anaheim and feel like, man, I'm not fit enough, like I got to really grind. So I'm kind of working my way in a, controlled manner, I guess, and try not to like freak out and overdo it and whatever, but I do want to put in a lot of work. So I don't know, it's just this mental space that I'm in, I know I still want to get fitter and stronger, and I can get there, but I need, for me, it takes a little bit of time, because just with some of the health issues in the past too, like, it's just always just a fine line, you know what I mean? So I kind of need to take my time with it a little bit, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, in that sense, is doing these races really helpful for Anaheim 1? Like, obviously the start money is nice, and it is good to get gate drops, but would it be more productive for you to be hammering out laps, testing and doing normal boot camp?
A little bit of both. Racing is always good, we know that, right? But most of the time you go to all these different continents, like going to Australia, the entire week is a wash, you know what I mean? You leave Sunday, you get there Tuesday or Wednesday, you're jet lagged, it's not like you can light the world on fire, you kind of do a little bit of maintenance work and whatever, and then you go race and you fly back. Before you know it, a week and a half goes by and haven't really done that much. So it's a double-edged sword, just depends on where you're kind of at. But then again, on the racing side of things, it's just, there's nothing like racing, but that's only like one day, you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's a little bit of both.
Well, I guess there isn't too much testing for you to do, right? Or is there a lot to run through? Or?
We still have. I did some motor testing already, and I ended up actually back what I've written the whole time. I'm really comfortable on it. We haven't done any suspension or chassis testing yet, just because I had to ride, get better. We have these races coming up, but once this is kind of over, we're still going to make another push because I'm pretty much on the setup that I've ridden all year.
Final question. You're not doing the full series. So how do you line up on Saturday night and weigh the risk versus reward? Because obviously you want to win, you're a racer, but ultimately in the grand scheme of things, a win in Vancouver doesn't mean much.
We take calculated risks, right?
Are you good at that? Or can you sometimes let your emotions take over?
No, I think I'm more the opposite way. Honestly, after like 2017 and stuff, I've talked about it before, when the track gets ruddy and just kind of funky, you know, sometimes even jumping things the first time. I think 5 times, you know, I'll take that extra lap or 2 extra laps, 3 extra laps, whatever it is, before I go and huck something.
Yeah.
So I think if anything, I'm a little bit on the conservative side.
One more thing, because I should ask. You rode the track. People say it's peaky, rocky, slick, it's going to break down.
Yeah. All of it. It really is.
I mean, that doesn't sound great, but...
Yeah, I wasn't the most comfortable out there right now, but I was just telling Dawn, too, I had brand new boots that were ice cold, you know what I mean? And they're all stiff and stuff, so I was kind of felt like a novice out there a little bit, but it was actually good to get that riding session out of the way today. It is very strange dirt, much different than last year. It was like Indy last year, like tacky.
So is it new dirt, or is it just drier?
Honestly, I can't really get a straight answer out of him. They said it's the same dirt, but a little bit of brown, and I just think it's drier. So I don't know. It's quite silty and very rocky. From up here, you can't really tell, but man, it is just the takeoffs. You know, they're buried in there, and you just want to sit into it and 3 something. But you know, all of a sudden you'll have that little like hook, and you'll shoot off to the right. So it's a strange one.
All right, this is the final question.
Oh, again?
What is better prep for you or better seat time, this track or Argentina?
I don't know.
I stumped you with a final one.
Argentina was fun, and you know, something can always happen. Pretty safe, you know what I mean? Technical whoops and stuff. I really enjoyed that one. This one is gets a little hairy, if that makes sense. Yeah. Having said that, it's also good though, because in Argentina you could kind of just get in a flow and, you know, roll the throttle on easy and kind of like shut your brain off a little bit and kind of let it flow. Where here, if you do that, like, I don't know, man, it might bite you real quick. Yeah. So I'm going to address this with a bit of caution, I guess, and just kind of, I don't know, let the day kind of roll on and see if I can get more and more comfortable every session I go out.
Eli Tomac, Vancouver, there's a lot to get to, but first of all, happy birthday. It's your 33rd birthday.
Yeah.
If I'd spoken to the 27-year-old Eli Tomac, would he have believed that he would be racing for KTM on his 33rd birthday?
If you would have talked to me when I was 27, I probably would have said no. I wouldn't have still be racing professionally at 33. I thought 30 was, at the time, was probably like, you know, maybe the mark.
Yeah.
But as I've gone on, it's like trying to put a number on something and be like, this is when I'm going to stop is really dumb. Like, I think you should just go feel. If you still have opportunities to ride and if you're still motivated, then it's kind of why I'm still here.
Obviously, birthdays they're milestone in life. They kind of cause you to think a little bit. So when you hit a day like this, are you like, oh my God, I am still racing. What am I doing?
Yeah. And for some reason, it's like this industry is like, if you're over 30, you're just, they keep asking you, you know, you're getting kind of old.
Yep. We talk about you like you're 39.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, I'm still here. It's good.
And thankful to be here. Happy to start this new chapter. Obviously, it's a big upset to the apple cart at this point in your career, but happy for something new?
Yeah. I'm very, very happy for this. And we're racing right away, but it's, in my opinion, it's going to be a good thing. And just like totally stoked I got this opportunity because I didn't have a whole lot else to go to, but in my opinion, this, like the way this all worked out and fell into place was like a dream come true for me to keep racing.
Yeah, you obviously did a lot of interviews at a KTM introduction, and I didn't hear anyone ask you this. There weren't so many offers on the table, so was there a point where you just believed you were going to be forced into retirement?
There was a point where I thought that could happen. Yeah, because I put a value on myself. I put a value on is it worth the risk? So you have to go over those things to decide if it's worth still racing.
And obviously, KTM met all of your demands.
Exactly.
Per se. Was it quite a difficult negotiation? Were there a lot of terms on either side?
It was. I would say it was pretty normal. There wasn't nothing too drug out. Like, we were just both excited to have the opportunity to be a team.
What does Eli Tomac want from a contract negotiation? What do you look for? You must have one thing in your mind where you're like, well, we're not going racing without X.
I mean, when I look at it, it's really just who you're surrounding yourself with. So, of course, as a rider, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right group, and obviously this group has been very, very successful. So to have the opportunity to work with them, it was like a no-brainer.
In the last couple of weeks, how many changes have you made to the bike? Are you in the process of just overhauling the thing, or are you starting quite slowly with testing?
I would say the big swings are actually kind of coming to a close, and now we're at the fine-tuning stage. Yep.
Is that quite early to have a big swing start?
I mean, yeah, we've done a lot of testing, but now we're starting to kind of close in on a smaller window.
Would the process have been a bit slower had you not been racing here? Like, did you have to speed things up to be ready for Vancouver?
Yeah, but what's nice is these guys have been very willing to make changes and do things. Yep, it's been good.
I would imagine as well, like Star, obviously you didn't spend a ton of time at a Go Farm, but there's a lot of riders there. It can be a little bit chaotic. This must feel like a more focused situation in a way, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, what does that feel like as a rider?
I think here's another thing with that is there's certain times where maybe a group environment is good for riders, and then other positions and other times, if maybe say if you're one of the better guys, I feel like you're lifting everyone else up and maybe not yourself. So it's a unique situation for everyone.
Yeah, is that, no matter the team, is that a burden for you? Because you've always been the number one guy. So do you feel like, we obviously know what being the number one guy means and the burdens it can carry, but that's almost an element that I've never considered. Like, how do you fit into a team when you are, in a sense, the team?
Yeah, it's, like I said, it comes down to your mentality and how you like to train. And of course, the team does have guidelines, so sometimes you just don't even have a choice whether or not you have to be in that full scrimmage environment or not.
Two more quick things. Is there something in Vancouver that you're excited to test on the bike? Maybe something that you don't know how it will react in a race situation?
It's that right there. It's race situations. It's the same thing over and over again. Like, you think you're super dialed at the track, and you don't know till you go out there, because you can always take it to another level racing.
Final thing. This is a bit of fun. This isn't your championship. You have the number one plate, but you're not doing this thing. How do you measure the risk versus reward versus the information gathering tomorrow night?
There's a massive advantage, in my opinion, to going racing. Me personally, I've had many big misses, say at Anaheim 1, that I wish I would have been able to put myself in a real gate drop situation outside of a practice track.
Okay, I need to add one more then. You were a Paris guy on your Honda days. Really, it was only the Kawasaki period where you didn't do the off-season stuff. Mm-hmm. So in reality, do you feel like your Kawasaki period was hindered by the quiet off-season?
Yeah, not putting myself in a race situation. Yeah, especially when it comes to developing a new bike. Yeah, for me, for some reason I had more misses than hits.
Christian Craig, Vancouver. Obviously, we spoke a lot last week, but how was your week? How was your travel back from Argentina? Did you actually manage to do any work?
I got one day of riding in Wednesday, and then flew out Thursday morning. Yeah, I landed Monday morning and then literally right back to it to training. So we're kind of in a time where there's no like off days. You gotta push and be ready for Supercross also. So I'm excited. First time here in Vancouver. I've been in Toronto once, but I watched last year's race and saw how it played out and looked at the track. It looks similar with dirt wise. Looks soft, but kind of like a little sandy. A lot different than last week. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the track, but people say it's like peaky and full AMA spec, which is good.
It looks good. Whoops look big. I think it's going to break down super quick. It looks like it's going to kind of just crumble, but I could be wrong. I've never raced here, so yeah, we have practice today on Friday, which is going to be fun. One little 10-minute practice, and then shake it down and be ready for tomorrow.
How are you with, obviously this schedule, this series means that your life is very, well, it's just chaos. I mean, you don't have time to do work, you don't have time to make a schedule, you kind of have to just go with the flow. Yeah. Are you good at that, or is this quite uncomfortable for you to deal with?
I love this. I love everything about this. Sitting at home without like a set plan or something, I drive myself crazy, I drive my wife crazy. So Australia is going to be tough because it's Thanksgiving, so the family probably won't come to that one, but the last two, try to bring my son. This weekend I brought my daughter, which is cool. She only missed one day of school, and then my daughter and wife flew out. They're out exploring the city right now. It's cool, like that's her first time out of the country, and hopefully she remembers a time like this. So yeah, just like soaking it all in. Like I said, it's just trying to enjoy every time.
There's a positive and negative to the difference in stadiums and tracks. One, you're getting to run through a lot of settings and scenarios for AMA Supercross. But two, there's nothing that carries over from Argentina to here.
Yeah.
So how do you just start from zero again with this one?
Just back to normal spec. I rode the one day I rode. I tried some stuff. I lowered raised. I don't even know what you do. I slammed my forks. I don't even know. I went from 5 mil to 4 mil on 4 kite. So if you want to call that, spread it out. Either way, it helped on the softer dirt, so that's how I'm hoping it's kind of soft here. So last week was the turns were crazy. Just like I could not turn. I don't think anybody could.
Why? Just because they were so
just
tight
the way
or
they were
small?
shaped.
Okay.
Like I felt like they were banked, and then at the top, Haiden blew out the entire top of the berm off. So I try not to take too much from last weekend. Obviously, my riding and starts were good, but I could be better. So just a couple small changes, and then mentally just ready to go.
I just interviewed Eli, and he was talking about the differences between being a star with a massive group and then being kind of more of a focus. And he said the benefit of being in the group is the scrimmage style stuff, but it actually carries a lot of negatives that people don't really see or know about, because it just leaves you a little bit questioning and wondering.
Yeah,
Can you expand on that?
With Eli, I mean, he spends most of his time by himself. So when I was with Star, he rarely came, and he would spend a couple motos with us with Swanee. So, but it is for sure like you don't have time to change settings. Like you have a set time to go do your motos when you're at Star, where now I can pick apart my bike a little bit, whether it's a negative or positive. And I haven't made many changes. I'm stoked on my bike. I've literally been on the same tire spec, same bars since day one. Just like little things, I'll try to adjust. But I've never been the really picky of a person. It's more of a mentality for me. When I feel ready, that's when I'll show up ready to go.
Speaking of bike setup, last week I interviewed Anderson, and he said that as soon as he got back from Argentina, he was going to mess around with gas pressure in his shock. Anstie thought he was taking the mick out of me because he had never heard this was a thing, and now he knows that he wants to look into this.
Yeah.
But have you ever done this? Is this a normal thing that every rider does?
No, I thought he was joking with you. I mean, we all saw Prado's bike with shock. Is that because the gas came out?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to talk about that, I don't think.
I'm not a suspension
Ask
guy.
Eli.
I'm not a suspension guy, but my bike's awesome. I literally
So
no
you
problems.
you never mess around with like, oh, we need to change the gas pressure on the shock?
No, I know spring rate, and then little clickers, but I hate doing clicker stuff because I feel like you can get carried away with it, and one click away and you're like, oh, I lost my feel, but it's the track drying out or the track getting rougher. So I try to be like, don't click it. If we're gonna make a change, I want it to be a big change, whether it's spring rate, sag, internal, but yeah, that's just me. Then you go to talk Max, and one click away, and he's going 111. So, or one click away, and he cannot ride the bike. So,
last question. Congratulations, for the very first time in your life, you have momentum. Not the first time in your life, first time in 5 years or so.
Since 2022.
Yes, you have momentum at this race. How does that feel?
It just feels good that I'm having fun again. I explained it last week at my post-race interview, just like how much fun I'm having during the day. Like I know we sat around most of the day, and it's such a high stress. Race days are always so stressful for us riders, just like the unknowns. If you're going to get a good start, how you're going to ride, how you're going to perform, putting pressure on yourself. And I didn't do any of that. Like I relaxed, I had fun, and was like, hey, I believe in my bike, I believe in my starts, my ability. And I believe I'm one of the best here, so we'll try to keep doing that every week.
Shane McElrath, Vancouver, you've ridden the track. We had Friday practice for this week only, for some reason.
Yeah.
Peaky, slick, rocky, all of the above?
Yeah, I think it's right on par for different country, different dirt, different venue. It's coming here last year. It was a lot of the same. I think last year maybe there was a little bit more moisture in the dirt to where it packed a little bit more, but it's honestly siltier and looser than it was last year. So whether that helps the track or not, I'm not sure. I think the build this year is maybe kind of similar last year. Some of the jumps felt a little bit easier today, whether that's just from them being packed in more, a little bit less moisture. But I think it's right on par with having to adapt as a professional motocross rider.
My honest assessment of your Argentina is second overall maybe covers up some of the untidiness of the day. There wasn't necessarily a bad moment, but there just seemed to be a lot of little mistakes, issues. Untidy is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Reason why?
Argentina was really sloppy for me. Coming out of there with a second place was not bad, all things considered. I ended up being a little sick. I didn't know. I had a sore throat. I wasn't sure if it was from maybe the dry air or maybe being just tired or whatever, but yeah, I got back home and I was sick for a few days, and it's like, well, that kind of explains it. So a little under the weather, bike set up a little bit off. Yeah, just kind of first race, like figuring things out a little bit. My speed wasn't where it needed to be, my intensity wasn't where it needed to be, and kind of just multiple things added up to one, to where it's like, hey, I'm probably riding at 90-95%, but the other guys are racing at 100.
Is it unfair that you're trying to be a full-time 250 rider and a factory rider at that?
No, I don't think it's unfair. It's
is it a tougher challenge than maybe we appreciate, though?
Probably so. It's definitely different, and that's where it's like, if I could make enough money and stay on the 450, then it's like, sweet, we're staying on the 450. That's not really the case with me. So I go where the opportunity is, and hopefully this may be my last year on a 250, anywhere. It's like, that's...
Do you say that because it's your personal plan, or you have opportunity?
Both.
Okay.
It's kind of like as a plan with the quad lock team, is like, my deal last year came up last minute because Mumford got hurt.
Yep.
And so it's like, we have this opportunity for you for Australia and Worlds, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. And so this year has kind of been like, okay, we're doing it again because we got the #1 plate, like, for sponsors, and trying to earn my spot on the team full time 450. That's kind of how our plan as a team is kind of built. So I don't plan on being in the 250 class anymore after this. It's just kind of how it worked out. But it's been a good opportunity financially, and it's been a spot to race.
Well, it's a good opportunity financially, but you are missing out. The prize money difference from SX1 to SX2 here is significant.
Yeah.
So you're making money, but there's arguably more out there.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, is like, I guess in the short term, the bonus money is better. Or the purse money.
Yeah.
In the long term, as far as last year as a whole, this year as a whole, I wasn't really in a paid spot with the quad lock team. So just because they already had their commitment. So Yariv and Martin have kind of like made a spot for me, but it's like, hey, we're both sacrificing here in order to make this work. And so we've kind of been working along those terms.
So when you podiumed Foxborough, you got bonus money.
Yes.
Were you on a salary at that point?
No. So I wasn't on salary all through Supercross. And
so how was your bonuses structured? There must have been weeks where you just went with $0.
Yeah, well, the purse money from Supercross comes in every week, so that helps. But the way that we kind of worked it out is, I wasn't on salary, and then the team has top 10 bonuses.
Oh, okay.
And they have like top 3 Honda bonuses, so that helped us out a lot. And then we took all my bonuses from the team ultimately, and pretty much like towards the end of Supercross, it's like, hey, this can kind of be your salary now, we split that up just to have a consistent income.
So your 250 career was great, obviously, no one needs to be told that. The sport hasn't really had your back since you moved to 450s.
Yeah.
Any resentment towards just the industry on that behalf?
I think it's easy to have resentment. I think it's easy to think about that. I mean, people always ask, because it's like the 250 rules seem to change like every couple years, and the bummer part is it's like kind of wrong spot, wrong time a little bit.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, like the only people that the 250 rule has affected is Savachi and myself. Like, we're the only two that haven't won a championship. Everybody else that won a championship, it's like that's normal. You win a championship and you move up. And we, like, some people didn't get to defend their championship, but it's like regardless, you win and you move up. And so that's the bummer part, is like I had good years, and it was like I just had good years more consistently than other guys maybe in my class at the time. And now it's like, in hindsight, I'm years ahead of other guys in the 450 class, but they're almost coming into a better position in the 450 class because they've been able to spend more time in the 250 class. So
yeah, maybe this is too aggressive, but fair to say that your first however many years in the 450 class was wasted time?
Yeah, it sucks to say that, but it's like opportunity is so far and few between in the 450 class, and being competitive is like, if I'm being honest, being competitive in the 250 class is kind of easy compared to the 450 class.
For sure.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand, is like, you have a bad night in the 250 class, like a bad night, and you're top 5. And it's like, oh, no problem. You have a bad night in the 450 class and you're 18th. And then you have a really good night and you're 12th or 10th. And so, like, the teams, the bikes, like outside of the factory teams, trying to build your own program, the funding is a lot less. Like, it's really hard to put stuff together. It's like, I had a meeting last week. It's like, dude, I'm trying to make ends meet from another source of income, because it's like that's part of the sacrifice that we've had to take. And it's like, hey, there's been times in my career where it's like I'm paid to train, practice, go race, eat, recover.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Whereas like now in my career, it's like I almost can't do that, because it's like, hey, I've got this time where it's like, hey, we got to make ends meet another way. So it's like, I do my training, I do this, like I try to focus on the important things, but the simpler things, it's like, hey, we got to brush over those because we got to do something else right now. So it's definitely tough, but at the same time, like, it's taught me a lot that maybe I would or wouldn't have learned in the 250 class being in it longer.
We're far in the weeds now, far off of Vancouver, but
Yeah.
Final question. Have you almost walked away in this in-between period of your career?
I've had a lot of, like, end of the year or end of the contract year, just honestly kind of asking God, like, do I stay here? Like, and it's like, I've told people, like, my wife and I, we just kind of always seem to be praying, like, God, if you still have a spot for us in the industry, then like open a door, because it's like, it's stressful. It's like it almost seems like you're going backwards a lot of the time. And it's like, is this a job? Is this a hobby? Like, at what point is it like, okay, we need to dig our heels in and press on, or do we need to let the pressure go a little bit and be like, okay, you know what, we can go this way, we can go that way, and we're okay with it. We're not at that point yet, thankfully. So yeah, it's definitely, since I've moved up to the 450 class, it's like, hey, am I gonna get back to where I felt like I was in the 250 class, which is like, hey, any given night, it's like, I'm here to be on the podium, and I believe that I have the talent. I believe that I can do that. Doing it is really hard. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Max Anstie, Vancouver. We've done a shit ton of interviews here over the last week or so, but how was your prep since Argentina? Full Supercross track this week, a little more so than Argentina. How are you feeling? All of that fun stuff.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, you know, you can't do too much in the week. I actually got back, I had a cold, thought I was over it, ears hurting, had an ear infection, so I was like, all right, out for a couple, I mean, not riding for a couple of days ain't a big deal, but it's just all the travelling we do, get a little bit ill, but I feel better now, just my voice isn't great. But it's what it is, got to deal with it and make the best of the situation. So track looks good. We did all our prep before, you know, round one, so you know nothing's changing. We're just going to keep running what we got, and we're in a good spot. So yeah, I'm happy we get Friday practice today because I didn't get to ride this week. But
yeah, and it's only this round.
Yeah,
why?
I don't know.
No one can tell me.
It's good for me though. A lot of guys didn't get to ride this week, so I'm not overly stressed on that. And yeah, just making the best of the situation. Feel all right today, so let's see how we go.
I don't know if I asked you this already, so if I have, stop me. Obviously, this schedule, the WSX schedule, means you don't have an off season. If you do West Coast, all of that, you're just running through to A1. When are you doing like your hardcore test session where like you do 2 weeks of just non-stop testing and going through parts?
Well, I did all that when I started on the team a year and a half ago. Ask my mechanic, I test all the time.
You don't do that every year? No, you don't. Isn't there like normally like a 2 week period?
The bikes stay the same though. We're at the 2024 and 2025 250s stay the same.
Okay, so this off season. So from a star perspective, this off season isn't as heavy as other ones.
No, I've upgraded a couple areas, but I already did a big test session. So straight after SMX, I didn't stop. I kept rolling.
Well, you did a hardcore like we're
did,
testing everything.
Yeah, I did shocks. I did all that stuff then. There's still more to do, but that also comes with speed. So I did a bit, and I've not changed too much from where I was last year. I am on a little bit different, but upgraded. Then talking to Jake, talking to Brad, talking to Trevor, my guys at everyone at Star, like all the guys that made all this, you know, this happen, they're like, right, go and race, get sharper, get faster, and then when we're finished with the races, let's see if we need to improve then. See if we need to step up again for A1. So it's like we did a block, we're gonna go race, I'm gonna get better, and when I get better, maybe then the level of the bike needs to get better again. So that's kind of how you can't go and do your testing and then, I mean, it's a bit like I used to do this in GP. It's like test, yeah, it's great, but then you get faster because your body, you speed up. You're like, you get faster as a person after having a bit of time off, and then the settings don't work because you're pushing it harder. So I'm in a really good spot right now. I'm fine with going racing this throughout all of next year, but they think there is still more to do, but that'll be straight after South Africa.
You ready for a hardcore journalism question?
All right.
I'm proud of this one.
Yeah,
you just said that Brad said that, like, get faster at WSX, then come back and see what you need to do.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think you'll get faster doing WSX, racing against, let's be real, a slightly lower field, or would you get faster at the Star facility with Thrasher and Brown and Davies and riders that are arguably a higher level than the ones here?
I get a mix of both. I get to go back, ride like next week, I can get the full week back with them. I'm doing as many days, like straight after Australia, I come straight back. We've got our team photo shoot. I'm going to bang out my days there. I'm just getting to race because it's gate drops and me sharpening up. Like, because I missed so many races I didn't do outdoors. Like I missed like half of Supercross and all of outdoors. So it's me getting. I can ride at the practice track all day long and feel fast against the teammates. We're all good, but there's still a different level of being nervous and being like, adapting to a new track. Even if it, you know, arguably you'd say that, but I can't underestimate you. You can't come into these races and underestimate it. I've done that before. They're a little different, and the Triple Crowns are short, they're intense. I've got to execute every week and be on top of my game, even if I don't feel great. And it's good practice for me because I want to win a Supercross Championship in America next year too. You know, and there's going to be days when you're not feeling great. I mean, look at Kenny last week with his stomach bug or whatever. It's like you've got to perform. And for me, being able to do both, me being older, I think if I was younger, maybe I'd need more days at the practice track. But me being older, I think racing and having JB as like a bit of a mentor and an advisor with these things, like I understand the importance of racing. Being okay with pressure, learning just I mean, I know it was I whole shot last week, but still the first race I got passed by Noah Viney on the first lap, and I'm like, mate, like that can't happen in America. If I did that in America, I'd be 5th. And then,
well, you'd probably be in the LCQ for one.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, like going around the second corner.
know,
If you get passed by someone, you get pushed over the berm. It's like, hold on, sharpen up. I need to be better. I need to raise my level. And I learned that last year here in Vancouver. I messed up. I felt like I was good at the practice track. I hit neutral. I nearly looped out. I did so many stupid things last year, and I'm like, I'm an older rider. I don't do stupid things. So now it's like full lock in. Let's get this right so that I can be even better and more solid again come 2026 US Supercross season as well.
Describe the pressure at these races compared to AMA Supercross. Naturally, it goes without saying that AMA Supercross means more, but is the pressure the same on the start line?
Pressures if not
line
more,
emotions more so.
If not more in a way, because like I have to win. I don't have to.
Is it a little bit like MXGP and British Championship?
No.
But like British Championship, you're there and you're like...
You'll get in trouble for saying that.
No, it's fair. No, because British Championship, you're sat there going, if I lose this, embarrassing, how am I, like, whereas MXGP, AMA Supercross, you're like, top 5's a solid day. There's no top 5 is a solid day at these races.
Yeah, I not really. It's like, it's just, it's still bigger than that, because it's still a world championship. You want that.
No,
I still want to win it.
You're focusing too much on the British Championship thing.
I know you mean the feelings.
Like the must win.
Yeah,
size.
I mean, but then again, in US Supercross, I mean, with this team, it's like I've got 1 more year on my contract. You've got to win, otherwise you're off. Yeah, I know how this game works.
Do you reckon this team... I shouldn't ask you this question. I'm going to ask you this question. Okay, contract's up at the end of this year. Does winning the
end of 2026?
Yeah, sorry, end of 26. If you can go to the negotiation table and say I won WSX, does that do anything for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as according to JB, last week, that almost took some of the pressure off in a way, because it's like I haven't raced since Supercross properly. I've tried to do SMX. I was not great. That didn't do anything for me. You have a night like you did in Buenos Aires. It's like, all right. But yeah, that's it. Everything is negotiation, power, and tools, and still you gotta perform. It's not easy to do that, whether you're whatever. So I'll take it, and yeah, I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm racing it. I like being here. I like what it brings, what it means to me, and I think being able to do these races is fantastic. I'm just pumped that the guys at Star, everyone there, like Brad, Will, all the guys were able to make this collaboration work with Team GSM and Serge and these French guys. They've welcomed me in here at these races and allowed the collaboration to work with Star and with them, so that I can be a part of this championship. Otherwise, you're just a wild card in and out for a couple of rounds. So for me, I think it's been really beneficial. Brayton JB has been like a massive help to bridge that gap, and for me, I want to win this championship. I also want to win the championship in America, and it's all preparation for that. It's all like, right, it's all going to keep rolling and roll on, and obviously I got to go and perform and do my thing. It's easy to say that when you go and win a race, but 7 days later, got to go and do it again.
Now we're just having a conversation, but Eli over there behind me just did an interview with him. He said he reckons that for years he's struggled at Anaheim 1 and all of that, like the Kawasaki sort of time, all down to not doing these races.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually quite an interesting...
So you just answered your own question with, is it better than being at the practice track? I think practice track as an amateur...
He's doing one race, you're committing. That's the difference there. He's saying 1 or 2 races to shake out the cobwebs. You are on tour.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's still... I'm able to use it. I didn't get much time off, but I'm able to use like the Australian trip. Yeah. I know it's different, but like I'm older, I'm able to take my wife and Finn and little one
and Lewis
to Australia, have a few days to switch off and enjoy that. I'm not getting like a holiday, a vacation. So I'm like, take a few days here, go to Cape Town, take a few days there, also execute, do my job. But it's like I can use those. I would rather I mean, it's like Kaider Wolf. He goes to America to ride Supercross on holiday. That's his break. I'm basically like taking a couple days off in between some of these races when we're travelling to have a bit of a holiday, try to switch off, but then execute. I'd rather be at the races in my off season than sat at Cairo just beating the laps around the practice track. I think it's better for me. I think it'll make me sharper, and yeah, we'll see. The goal is this championship and next year's Supercross.